We got Cody Stamann back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Aljamain Sterling at UFC 228. Cody, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I know you had practice today. How did everything go?
Killer practice. I'm absolutely exhausted. I do my pretty much my two hardest workouts Thursday night and Friday morning. That way, that last one Friday is like everything I have left in the tank, and then I take a Saturday and Sunday morning off to recover. So I'm dragging ass a little bit right now.
No worries. And I know you sleep a lot. Like you were telling me that you like to sleep in on the weekends and stuff. Is that something you must
Yeah.
really look forward to getting that, full? Because you get like 10 hours, don't you?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, obviously, it's really really hard. Trying to get 10 hours as an adult is not an easy task, right? So at least 8, right? And if I don't get 8 hours, I really just don't feel like my body recovers the way it should. Because the things that we do to our bodies is just, insane, and we need that extra 2 hours of sleep. So when I get 10, I feel great. I'm looking forward to trying to get 10 or more tonight.
I'm the same way. This is a big fight for the bantamweight division. There was a big fight a couple of weeks ago. Of course, TJ Dillashaw defends his title over Cody Garbrandt. Just thoughts on the fight, on how it went, and what'd you think? Were you expecting that to happen with TJ getting the win?
That's one of those fights. Honestly, I did think TJ was going to win, just based on the solid fact that once you beat somebody, I mean, there's a serious mental block. For the guy that you beat and for you. Like, I know when I used to wrestle guys, I used to wrestle them multiple times, and if I beat them that first match, they weren't going to come back and beat me just because I knew in my head that I could beat them. And like that, just like for Garbrandt to come over that mental hump. Would have been crazy impressive. But I know the two guys. Cody, he fights the same way every fight. He's got crazy power in his hands. He's got great boxing. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he is kind of predictable. You kind of know what you're going to get out of him. And TJ is continuing to evolve. You know what I mean? You see him going to different camps, going to training with Lomachenko. He's learning new tricks and he's getting better all the time. So. TJ's the guy to beat in the division. I mean, he came out and he fought Cody with his hands down in the pocket, boxing exactly the opposite of how you would think, he would want to fight a guy that's got heavy hands like that. I mean, and he knocked him out at his own game. It was crazy impressive, and man, Dillashaw's a killer.
What do you think they're going to do next? It looks like they might do that Henry Cejudo fight, but obviously there's a lot of top contenders in that bantamweight division, including yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys stacked up. It's like a bunch of fish bottled up in a river. You got Sun Tzu, you got Moraes, Cruz. Arguably could be the next guy to get that shot. Those are three guys that either one of those guys get that fight. You're like, okay, yeah, that's well deserved. I don't think it'll be a Sun Tzu because the Sun Tzu's fought Dillashaw twice. I don't think it'll be Cruz because he's been hurt. And Moraes, I don't think it'll be Moraes because he doesn't have that steam behind him yet. So I really think that the next fight's going to be Cejudo coming up from 25. If I had to guess, that'd be the next one. And for me personally, it's fine because I feel like I'm still 2 fights away from that fight. So let him work it out. By the time I get there, I think it'll be worked out and ready to go.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that as well. Have you looked back kind of on the accomplishments you've had in this last year? I mean, for not talking calendar year, but just you've gone 3-0 in the UFC. I mean, I just remember it was like last July where you're making your debut against Terrion Ware. Now you're 3-0. Have you kind of sunk that in? Has that sort of set in with you with just the accomplishments you've had already in the octagon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with what I've been able to do so far. But if you know me, you know that I'm not at all. I'm not really never satisfied. Still haven't had that performance where I punch that ticket and I show people really what I'm about. So while I've been happy to perform and to win, it's not enough. I haven't gotten that satisfaction of knowing that I was 100% hit on all cylinders when I got in the cage. I feel like I still have a lot more to show and a lot more growing to do as an athlete. And my goal has always been to be the best in the world. So I don't want to get too hung up on past accomplishments. I want to just keep moving forward, keep getting better, keep studying, the best guys in the world, and kind of mimic what they're doing. I want to be like Dillashaw. I want to keep evolving, improving, and getting better everywhere.
Excellent. Let's talk about Aljamain Sterling. Obviously, 15-3 record. You have a win over a guy who defeated him in Brian Caraway. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I mean, I feel like he's a lot like Caraway as far as a level goes. He's a little more diverse on his feet, moves a lot. But if you really break him down, he's just like Caraway. All his strikes are just means to an end. He just wants to strike so that he can clinch you up or take you down, get to the ground. So in a lot of ways, in my head, I look at it just a guy that's going to throw a lot of different strikes at me, but ultimately his goal is to get me to the ground. Him and I have had some pretty nasty words back and forth, and rightly so. I don't think this is the fight that either one of us wanted, but I think it came into fruition because we honestly don't like each other. Like I said, there's not going to be any love lost if I kick his head off. I won't feel bad about it one bit. I know that I can do that. I know that I can. Everyone says this. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this is the greatest training camp of my life." Well, if you'd asked me that for the Caraway training camp, it would have probably been a lie. You know what I mean? Because I was banged up and I was in a pretty rough spot where I almost had to pull out. But this training camp, I've been healthy. I'm in good shape, and mentally, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm chomping at the bit. I can't wait to get in there. So, if you ask me that question, I'm gonna tell you this is the best I've ever felt. I'm ready to take Aljamain Sterling's head clean off.
Okay. What about training camp? I know everything the same, sort of the Michigan top team. Have the training partners been primarily the same, or did you add anyone else in there?
Yeah, so I'm lucky. My a lot of my training partners can mimic other people. I think that's been one of the things that I've been so one of the reasons I've been so successful is because you get a guy like Darren Cruikshank, who's crazy athletic. He's got a bigger frame, a lot like a lot of the guys that I'm fighting right now. He's pretty much the exact same, maybe a little bit bigger than Aljamain Sterling, a little thicker, but same reach, same height. So and he's really, really good. He watches somebody and he can just do the things that they can do, and it's insane because when I get into the cage and when I was fighting Caraway, I kind of felt like I'd already seen all this before. You know what I mean? It took me 5 minutes and losing around to kind of realize okay, wake up, here we are. And then it was like I was having like epiphanies, like of training of times training. So I'm really fortunate to have guys that can give me the looks that I need. And that's that's so important. I trust the guys in Michigan top team. I trust my coaches. And I think that's where I'm going to stay.
September 8th. How do you see this fight playing out? You mentioned having feeling like this is going to be the breakthrough performance. Are we going to see a finish in this fight, do you think?
I mean, I need one. I need one for me, but I also need one because a lot of fans are out there talking about I'm not a finisher, and that's just not how I want to be known. At first, it was I'm a wrestler because I went out and wrestled Tyrion Ware. And now I'm a split decisioner, the decisionator. Actually, someone called me. I was like, God damn it. But I mean, I need to finish. I mean, I have to look for that finish. I have to be that guy. It can't be another close fight. I got to run through them. And I've been training like that. I've been training. I feel like sometimes I think in training, you get used to just barely winning rounds. And I think that's something I was just getting accustomed to, just doing enough to win. But like I said, I want to punch that ticket. I want to go to that next level. And I want there to be no doubt after September 8th and after I get my hand raised that, I'm like the next guy. I'm the dark horse in this division, and I'm going to be the guy that's going to eventually be the champ.
What's next for you after this fight? I mean, you get the win here, you'll be 4-0, especially if you get a finish here. I mean, I imagine that's going to propel you near the top of the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get on the microphone after the fight, and I'm just going to say I don't care who it is. I'll bag the whole division. There's a ton of guys deserving at that very, very top, and whether they give me a John Lineker or a Marlon Moraes, or anybody in the top 10 or anybody anywhere, as long as my money keeps going up and, I keep getting more stock in the UFC, I feel like it's a win-win for me. Because like I said, that belt's tied up right now. It's going to be tied up for at least a year. So all I got to do is stay winning, keep improving, and, keep winning in the fans' eyes and keep building my brand.
before I let you go, have you got up to any hunting this summer? I know it's not really the hunting time of season, but have you got away at all? Maybe doing any fishing, anything like that?
I haven't, every chance I get, every time I'm by water, I'm definitely fishing. I haven't got out as much as I like. It's been a crazy busy summer, but like I said, like I told you before we started, I just recently moved, and it's a pain in the butt. So I haven't, but this weekend I'm gonna go home, do a little fishing, just to kind of clear my mind, and then right after the fight, hunting season's kind of starting, so I'll have a little time to get out and do what I really like to do.
Do you ever get backlash for that on social media? I know hunting's one of those things where people there's always the critics about, oh, you shouldn't be doing this or whatever. Do you ever get any of that on social media?
Yeah, a little bit sometimes. And it was a picture of me, and I was like pile of geese, like just a pile of dead birds. And this guy's like, "What the f is wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I liked it."
Yeah, it's
I
part of
don't
the
know.
culture too,
I'm
right?
gonna
Like I know
I'm
you
gonna
grew
eat
up
them
doing it.
all. Yeah, I grew up doing it. I'm gonna eat them all. And he was like, he was sent this big paragraph if I was a loser. I was like, "Are you a vegan?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I was like, "Have you been a vegan your whole life?" And he goes, "I just started." And I was like, "Then shut up." You know what I mean? Like, you've been eating animals your whole life, and you're literally dogging me because you know what I mean? I shot and killed an animal I'm gonna eat. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. Like, that's like, if you're the only person that can say anything as a vegan that's been a vegan their entire life. Otherwise, don't talk to me about it.
There you go. Well, we're certainly going to be talking about this fight. It's coming up here September 8th. It's UFC 228. Cody, it's always great getting a chance to catch up with you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Everything's just Cody Stamann. I gotta thank everyone on my team for being so supportive, getting me ready. It takes an army of people to get me ready for a fight. I'm really fortunate to have a lot of really good people in my corner. So, I always look forward to talking to you, and I'm glad to see you're doing a lot of big interviews. I wish you nothing but the best, and you'll see me September 8th beating the shit out of Aljamain Sterling.